Patriots are coming off a disappointing loss in Arizona, and now there's no rest for them as they have to head to Buffalo against the surging Bills. What's up, everybody? It's Mike Dussault Evan Lazar here to break down that game up in Buffalo. And Evan, first, let's talk a little bit about that Cardinals game. Certainly disappointing. A couple bright spots, though, just to talk about. We're all here for Drake Maye's development. Yeah. What did you see in this game and how they used him, what the game plan was with Drake?
Well, that's the biggest thing to me is that there was just a lack of rhythm offensively right from the jump. 3 tough drives to start the game and a lot of short passing, a lot of screens, a lot of get the ball out of his hands quickly. And I understand where they're coming from. They have an undermanned offensive line. They're trying to get the ball out of his hands and not have him see a lot of pressure. But at the same time, when you're a quarterback, you want to get into the game. You want to get a rhythm going in the game, and it felt like the Patriots just never really got Drake going. And then in the second half, obviously a lot of it in garbage time, though, he started to make plays, and you started to see the Drake Maye that we saw maybe against the Colts or against the Rams. So I think the two themes from both Miami and from this game against Arizona is that you got to get him going early, because if he doesn't get that rhythm, then it's really difficult to find it.
So huge task for Drake now. He's got to go up to Buffalo. That's a spot, I talk, Evan, a lot about just wanting to see Drake this year play these AFC East teams on the road, get a sense of it. It doesn't get much harder than up in Buffalo at this time of year, especially with the Bills coming off a huge win over the Lions. They're surging. They're trying to stay in this race for that home field advantage, that bye week that comes with it. What do you look for Drake this week, just in terms of getting up there, going against this Buffalo defense that, let's face it, they gave up some points to the Lions. Probably going to be hard for the Patriots, though, to replicate that performance.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row to the Rams and the Lions. And the one thing I find interesting about both those games, even though they're both on the road for Buffalo, they're both in domes. So now that they go to Orchard Park, there's going to be weather. We always know that, especially this time of year, whether it's just bitter cold or it's wind or it's rain and snow or whatever. So for both teams, the Bills' offense has looked unstoppable in 2 consecutive weeks. How unstoppable are they if there's conditions? And then obviously for the Patriots and Drake Maye, North Carolina boy, let's see him play in the winter. And I think one of the things that he's talked about is that hopefully when you get into playoffs in January and things like that down the road, that's going to be an advantage for the Patriots, that they are a weather team and they can handle cold weather conditions. So this is one of those games where you get to see what he has in those situations.
All right, Evan, I know you're a Josh Allen guy, so I don't want to get too crazy here. We are previewing for the Patriots, but yeah, I think we have to give the Bills some flowers. They've won now 4 straight AFC East titles, 5 straight AFC East titles. They've really done it right, I think. They've primarily built through the draft. Of course, Josh Allen in the midst of an MVP season. You can't understate how good he has been. But I think when you really look around at the guys who are the motor for this offense around him, it's guys like Khalil Shakir, it's James Cook, it's guys that they've drafted. The offensive line, 3/5 of it are guys that they selected within the first couple rounds of the draft. I think it's a little bit of the model for the Patriots if they're going to, get back up to that level.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking personnel-wise, what's interesting to me is that this is almost Josh Allen 2.0 in terms of what they've done, because now there's no more Stephon Diggs, there's no more Brian Dable, right? They're kind of moving on from that first iteration of his career in Buffalo, and now it's Shakir, it's Amari Cooper coming over in a trade, it's James Cook, it's an offensive line that is ranked very highly across the board, and it's Joe Brady, who is right now on an absolute heater, one of the best offensive play designers in the NFL, and you just see how he's able to leverage all of Josh Allen's tools, the arm talent, obviously, but also the mobility, read option designs and RPOs and a lot of quarterback run in this offense. And you can just see that putting it all together, there's just so much to defend as a defense. It's not even that they have this overwhelming talent at receiver anymore like a Diggs, but they just have so many different ways that they can go about moving the football. And it's just so much of a mental hurdle for the defense, I would say, to stick with it all. And then you also have an alien playing quarterback, so that doesn't help it either. So just looking at the film with Josh Allen, though, the biggest thing that stands out to me is everybody's at the point of attack at all times. He can throw the ball, and he will throw the ball and break all the quarterback rules of across the field. He's rolling one way, throw it back into the middle of the field, all those types of things. So everybody's got to be at the point of attack.
Well, it's going to be a tough challenge here for the Patriots' final road game of the 2024 season, going against the Bills and an MVP candidate in Josh Allen. We'll see what they have up in Buffalo.